Good morning, children. I hope you have seen the previous video where I talked about the later Vedic age, and I have ended with the use of iron, right? Like later Vedic Aryans know how to know, they were knowing the use of the iron, and they have made the axes, they have made the plowshares, and with this various different occupations started emerging. Clear, everyone? In the form of carpenters, masons, metal workers, and this way they started becoming more developed society with the days to come. Clear? So in this video, it is in continuation with the later Vedic video, right? Again, more features, more characteristics. So let's start now. Now if you see, we have already did the role of iron, right? How come the iron proved to be the blessing in disguise for the later Vedic iron, right? And they know the development of the iron, they know the advantages of the iron. Clear, everyone? And what was the advantages of the iron? Now iron, obviously they know how to use the axes. Clear? And axes, related to axes, they started making different metals, right? Different weapons, different ornaments, right? Now southern India, now here in this slide they try to explain ki how come Aryans moved to southern India, and in southern India where they used the iron, right? This way this slide really gives you an insight, in depth detail about all these things, right? Now now let's see. Now see, we have seen in southern India what the megalithic monuments such as dolmens and cromlechs, right? The word megalith means large stone. Megaliths, we found various large stones in the form of dolmens and cromlechs, and these are tombs, and basically what they are, tombs, and with a large flat stone laid on upright one. Now stones were laid on upright one on each other, right? They were on top of each other. Clear? And then later on what we found iron tools beneath it. What we found beneath, the under the tomb, we found iron tools, arrows and rice and other grains. The skeletons found buried in these graves, we found the skeletons also. That means some or the other way they buried, and they used to, with the dead body, they used to bury other things as well, like the iron tools, the arrows and the fragments of rice we found under the grave, right? Then we found the transition from copper and bronze age culture to iron age. At last later Vedic age fully knows the use of iron, and at last this they simply, they have crossed that age, they have transited that is age from copper and bronze age to iron age. Clear, everyone? So this is what how we come to know ki southern Indian also was familiar with the iron. If you see in Andhra's Aryans, later Vedic iron have established their bases in Andhra also, and Atriya Brahmana was the source which narrates us ki yes, that southern India was familiar with the iron. In fact, the Aryans has a base, they simply established their base in southern part of India as well. Clear, everyone? So I hope so people are not confused, you are not get to know now what are megalithic monuments. Basically they were large stones laid on upright ones, right? Laid on upright one on each other. Clear? And under this what we found iron tools, arrows, fragments of rice. Let's move on to another slide. Now we want to compare. Now we are to make you more, to make you understand more, I have just simply drawn the table in the form of early Vedic society, later Vedic society, and this way with the help of differences you will clear more, right? You get to know more information if you clear with early Vedic society and later Vedic society. So here, if you see early Vedic society, women were treated equally with respect, had the freedom, participated in religious rites, no strict orders in the society was followed. No strict order, that means they were not believing into order system. Kshatriya, brahmanas, brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras, they all can interact, they all can move, right? It was no restrictions on their movement, no restrictions on their interactions. Clear? They were quite open towards all these things. No caste system, no strict caste system has been followed in this society. Now move on to later Vedic society. So here, if you see, women was given a lower position. Now this society, had transited from the early Vedic to later. Now if you see, so this is the most unluckiest part, or maybe the woman position was quite lower as comparison to the early Vedic society. Clear? Polygamy was practiced. Polygamy, husband can keep as many wives as they want. Widow remarriage, widows were not allowed to remarry, right? Education was of high order, though there was the development in the education, right? And there were still the women scholars, like the way we have in early Vedic society, and they have received the education of highest degree, highest order. Clear? But still, somehow if you compare the position of women with early Vedic society, the position was quite lower as comparison to early Vedic society in later Vedic age. Clear? If you see, growing cult of sacrifice added to the power of Brahmins. Now Brahmins started, started more started implementing more sacrifices in their day-to-day rituals, clear. And then they started enjoying. And here what happened here, the two orders were formed out of four. That means Brahmin and Kshatriyas come to at one level, right? Brahmins and Kshatriyas were the warriors, and Brahmins were their, guide. They were guiding them, right? And here Vaishyas and Shudras were at same level, clear. So here what they started doing, they started discriminating in these two orders. So Brahmin and Kshatriyas at one level, and Vaishyas and Shudras at another level, clear. And there was a vast difference between these two orders. There were discrimination, clear. Now privileges denied to Vaishyas. Now another thing, most shocking thing, privileges was denied to Vaishyas. And Shudra, the merchants, the chariots. Who were Vaishyas? They were businessmen, right? They were merchants, the chariot makers, the carpenters, the fishermen. And they have a distinct caste. They were known by the name of distinct caste, clear, everyone. So if you see in this, the Rig Veda has simply given the source about the four orders of the society. In this later Vedic society, there were more strict orders were followed. That means they started believing into strict orders is in the caste system. And there were discrimination also on the basis of distinct caste, clear. Like if you are a merchant, if you are the chariot maker, if you are the carpenter, fisherman, you will be kept under the category of the Vaishyas and Shudras, clear. They were at the same level. And if you are the warrior or the king, right, obviously they were the warriors, and plus the priests, they were kept at the same level. And there was a vast difference between these two groups, and difference was really growing day by day, clear. Let's move to another slide now. Again, if you compare now, in later Vedic age, what happened, we found four ashrams now, because obviously, as I told you, the education was of highest degree in later Vedic age. So here what they did, they simply have four type of ashrams, that means stages of life, with 25 years of each. Like they kept in four stages, they kept 25 years in each stage, right? That means man's age they have calculated as 100 years, clear. So the very first age of 25 years, if first 1 to 25 years was the age of Brahmacharya, the next 25 years Grahastha, the next Vanaprastha ashram, and the next the Sannyasa ashram. Now the very first thing, the Brahmacharya ashram, that means here the development of body and mind. Then Grahastha ashram, the family life. Then Vanaprastha ashram, meditation and prayer. Then Sannyas, renounce all worldly pleasures, clear. Here sannyasi renounce all worldly pleasures. That means Brahmacharya, you need to develop, you need to study a lot. Grahastha, you need to enjoy your married life. Then one prastha, you need to prasthan towards the forest. Prasthan, you need to go and meditate in forest, clear. And then at last you renounce, you give up all worldly pleasures and become sannyasi. Then come on to Gurukul system of education is being followed in later Vedic age. Now what was the system all about? If now the people or the students stayed with their gurus for physical and mental development, here everyone knows the Gurukul ashrams known for, here the gurus and people were staying together. Then which subjects are being taught? Vedic literature, logic, ethics, military science, maths, law, astronomy, astrology. Like if you see, the quite standardized subject was being taught actually in later Vedic age. No fees was charged, only the Guru Dakshina was taken by gurus. Now rich and poor children had to stay together, another quality. Then duties like gathered fuel, tended the cattle, begged alms. They and what duties they were performing, these students, they were gathering the fuel for their master, for their guru. They started rearing the cattle, and if they want to have a food, they have to beg from the neighboring villages, clear. These students. Move to another slide now. Here political organization, like if you see, if we move back to early Vedic society, so their governance was quite simple. Sabha and Samiti, they were two political institutions that exercise an effective check on the king. And along with, we saw Vishyapati, then we saw Jana ruled by Rajan. Then what we see now, what we have listened from this video all. Then later on we Sabha and Samiti, then later on various different officials, Senani, Prohita, right, all these were assisting the kings. So this we have listened in the previous video about the governance of early Vedic age. But here the governance has taken a new form, has taken a developed form. Let's see the political organization. Let's see how come later Vedic age has the developed administrative system, clear. Let's see now. Emergence of Janpadas. Now Janas have taken the form of Janpadas, the large kingdoms, clear. What happened to administrative system? See, more officials were added to this. Various officials were the treasurers, everyone knows, the collector of taxes, the royal chamberlain. They were used to look after the kitchen, the household of the monarch. Then we have various other officials, experienced officials in the form of Prohita, the Senani, the Gramani, the Sachiva. Sachiva means minister. Then Sabha was converted into king's court. If you remember, Sabha was the, was a people of eminent knowledge, right? Eminent and reputed people have formed Sabha actually in the early Vedic age. Now Sabha has taken the form of a king's court. Clear. And then various other sacrifices, if you see, various other sacrifices is being prevalent in this society. Now if you go back to early Vedic society, so they simply perform yajanas as in the form of sacrifice, but here they're performing various different sacrifices. So we have Rajasuya, then we have Vajpaya, then we have Ashwamedha, right? The Vajpaya sacrifice was done at the time of coronation of the new king. Rajasuya sacrifice was done to please God. They go for sacrifices, right? And the Ashwamedha, Ashwa means horse. They have to release the horse, right? Here, the who has to perform this? The kings of kings. That means no one would dare to compete with that king in that whole Janpada and had that whole kingdom. Clear? So this were all sacrifices performed by the kings in different occasions. Clear? Like Vajpaya, then Rajasuya, and then Ashwamedha. Clear? So if you see, again, if I revise the political organization comprised of Janpada, the huge kingdoms, right, ruled by kings. Then administrative systems were treasurers, they were looking after the treasury. Then there were taxes, the collector of taxes. Then there were royal chamberlain, household, they were looking after the kitchen. Then there were other older officials like the Prohita, Senani and Gramini, Sachiva, ministers. Then the Sabha was converted into king's court. Then Rajasuya, then Vajpaya, and the Ashwamedha sacrifices. So all things you people have seen in the political organization of the later Vedic society. Clear? So this way we come to the end of this video. So I hope so people have come to know a lot many things about the later Vedic age, and this way you people have realized how come this age was known as the all-round developed age. Clear? So again I revise, again I do the revision, right? Let's move back to the previous slide. Now, what happened? What I taught? What this video started with? What? The southern India. How come the southern India become familiar with the iron? So in iron, like we found megalithic tombs, like such as dolmens and cromlechs. Megalith were the largest stones. They were laid on upright ones, and under, if you remove these tombs, if you remove the tomb, to beneath it you found a grave, and the grave consisted of the iron tools, arrows, rice, and plus the skeletons. Clear? And here, from this we come to realize yes, now they have crossed that age. Which age? Copper and bronze age to iron age. Clear? Now they started comparing early Vedic society with the later Vedic society. Here women were treated equally with respect, had the freedom, participate in religious rites. No strict orders in society was followed. Then later Vedic society given a lower position, polygamy was a practice, widow remarriage was not approved, education was highest order. So here if you see, the main point was what? The position of women was not that much respected. Women was not respected as comparison to the early Vedic society. Here the growing cult of sacrifices added to the power of Brahmins has to do the sacrifices. Their position was more stronger in this society, right? And they simply, at par with them, they simply kept what? Kshatriyas. The Kshatriyas and Brahmins enjoyed the same position in this society. And whose position was same? Here the Shudras and Vaishyas position was same in this society. And there was a huge difference with these two orders. Clear? More differences, more discrimination was being followed in the later Vedic age. Clear? Privileges denied to the Vaishyas, Shudras. They were comprised of the merchants, the chariot maker, the carpenters, the fisherman. Right? They were having a distinct caste. They were known with their occupations. They were known by different caste. Then we have later Vedic age followed the 4 ashrams of 25 years of each, right? Then they followed Gurukul system of education. Now 4 ashram, brahmacharya, grahastha, vanprastha, sannyasa. Then in Gurukul system of education, the pupil stayed with their guru. Then the subject Vedic, logic, ethics, military, science, maths. No fees was charged. Rich and poor children had to stay together. Duties like gathered fuel, tended the cattle, begged alms from the neighboring villages. All these are part of the student's life. Now political organization, there were emergence of Janpadas or the huge kingdoms, right? Then we have there were different officials as well, right? The treasurers, the collector of taxes, the royal chamberlain. Then older officials like Prohita, the Senani and the Gramini. Now here the Sabha was converted into king's court, right? And various sacrifices were performed by kings on different occasions to celebrate themselves. They here the Rajasuya, then we have Vajpaya, and then we have Ashwamedha, right? So okay, fine. So do listen to this video carefully, children, right? And you will clear all your doubts with this. Clear? Okay, so thank you.